Well, John and Jackie, I know you don't know why you're here, but you've both been very involved here at Cape Christian, serving, giving in so many different ways, faithful in so many different ways. And I'd just love to hear why. Why do you serve? Why do you give here?
I think we've always felt that it's really important to give back when you get so much, that you're called to give that back. And that we feel this church has blessed our family in so many ways, blessed us spiritually, our children spiritually. That we really feel that it's our calling then to give back for in a response to the blessings that we've received.
Well, and the thing I've noticed about the two of you is you're not just attending Cape Christian. You're serving, you're giving, you've been very generous, you've been giving, whether it's the building of Fellowship Park, the Christmas offering, so regular weekly, you're investing. What made you start doing that? Why?
I think we established early on in our relationship and in our marriage that there's a clear calling for us to give back, not only of your time but of your finances, in a way that we can really do our small part, a small piece of the puzzle, so to speak, in helping the church grow to what God envisions it to be.
And that always hasn't been easy. We've definitely had to kind of test God, so to speak, and He's always been faithful. There's been times when we have pledged to give financially to Fellowship Park and been reminded of the pledge, and
after we forgot about it,
weren't prepared, and we really had to dig deep and think about it, and decided to go forward and keep true to the promise that we had made to our church and to the Lord.
Well, I love to hear those stories, and believe me, from a leader in this church, one of the pastors, and from the very beginning, your stories, like dozens of other folks and couples and people in our church. I don't say thank you often enough. I really want to say thank you, because what you do really, really does make a difference. And we get to see it around here every day. We get to see the transformation of lives, and we get to hear the stories that maybe sometimes you don't even get to hear, and know those stories of what your faithfulness means in the lives of other people, and the transformation that happens in the lives of other people, just because you guys are faithful and you guys serve, you give, and what that means in just everyday life. And so I said you didn't know why you were here, and one of the reasons we wanted some of those people whose lives are being transformed to actually also say thank you. They wanted to say thank you to you as well, and so I'm going to let them speak.
I just wanted to say to you guys that before I came to Cape Christian, I was seriously battling issues that were affecting my marriage. Like any guy, I just struggled with this stuff and kept telling myself, I'm never going to do anything, I'm never going to do anything, and it was getting worse and worse. And Pastor West actually told me since I've been here that when God has a plan, he kind of like a baby comes along usually and changes the course of everything. And my son was the way that God brought me to church. And actually, we were looking for a church. We came to Cape Christian. I'm one of the biggest UFC fans you'll ever meet. And I came on Father's Day, and Pastor Chad was speaking about the UFC and fighting and staying in the fight with David and all those things, and the stories from David and Goliath, and after that with Bathsheba and everything. And it was just one of those things where you feel like God was speaking to you. And then I've gotten involved in the youth ministry, and I've gotten involved with like the men's retreats and so many things that have helped me. And I just want to say thank you for what you guys have been donating and helping this church, because without this church, I don't know honestly where my family would be right now.
Hi, John and Jackie. My name is Debbie, and I started coming to this church in 2012 as an attender. 3 weeks before my first wedding anniversary, My husband moved out of the house while I was at work after he had me quit my job. And first person I contacted was Pastor West, who put me in touch with one of our wonderful counselors, Terry, who's a biblical counselor, got me through the hardest part of my life. I considered suicide. I didn't know what to do. My family was gone, my husband was gone, my life was gone, my job was gone. On my first anniversary, the end of March, I was at a women's ministry breakfast, which was awesome, with Pastor Giegrich's wife, Linda, and it got me through that hard day. So I just want to say thank you, because without you and people like you making these ministries possible, I don't know where I would be. I can tell you today, I am a totally different person than I was 6 months ago. I'm on the worship team. I never thought I'd be doing that. I'm a mentor at the schools, still not working, but God's still providing, and that's how I look at it. And thank you so much for everything you've done.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi.
I'm Steven. I too have a story like them where I was troubled. I was involved with a lot of drugs, and I went through, my brother had a problem with drugs, and we had a lot of just really bad things happening, and I would be able to call the pastors here at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and they would have no problem with it. And I've used a lot of resources here that I know cost money to use, and I appreciate everything, the giving that you guys do, and just appreciate it. So thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Well, you've heard a few of those stories of transformation, and that's just a little tiny sample of the kind of sacrifice that you've made, serving, giving, faithfulness, even when it maybe didn't seem possible. You did it anyway out of faithfulness and obedience. And how does that feel? I know sometimes people don't get to hear those stories. How does that feel for you?
It feels awesome. I wasn't expecting it, and I think it just makes us really excited to go forward and keep doing what we're doing and being a part of all the great things going on here.
It's also very humbling when you look at the big picture, knowing that, we're an extremely small piece of the puzzle, and there's a lot of pieces that have to come together for any of this to take place, or for any ministries to occur, or fellowship or outreach, whatever it is. There's a lot of little pieces to a big puzzle, and to be a piece of it is exciting for us, and we're so thrilled that God has us where He does, and we're excited about where the church is headed, most certainly.